Okay, it is officially the start of today's My Thoughts. Why is it today's? I do not know. Okay, I forgot about that. Okay. So, as you can probably tell from what is violating your screen currently, today's My Thoughts are on God of War. Now, the reason this has taken so long to come out is because it took me 5.5 years to gosh darn beat the darn thing and then release all the episodes. So, yeah. Now, I'm just gonna give you the scoop right away. God of War, 10 out of 10. I don't care if you're an Xbox person, buy a flippin' PlayStation for the one and only purpose of getting this game. This game, just in general, is very fun to play. There's a lot to do even after you beat it. Soon enough here, I'm going to actually start streaming it and, like, only, and make actual, like, stream highlights of it as well as I kill, like, the Valkyries. There's obviously going to be a lot of spoilers in this, just so if you couldn't tell already, now you are aware. Yeah. But the main story is honestly really good, you know, with the kid and all, how you actually have this son, and how I want to know how old Kratos is actually anymore, because, you know, I kind of lost track a little bit. But basically, there's always just more and more to do.
What happened when Tyr brought
No, don't start telling a story.
Quickly.
No.
The giants anticipated Odin's trickery and exposed his true agenda to spy and steal their secret wisdom. With magics, they expelled Odin from their realm and cursed him never to return. Frustrated,
then.
Odin visited his fury upon the giants of Midgard. Thor unleashed Mjolnir's might upon any giant he could find. None could
get a
stand
little bit
against
of a
the
story
tide
time,
of
sort of.
slaughter that followed. And at last, it seems, with Tyr's aid, they retreated. The tower disappeared. No giants could be found in Midgard, and no man nor god has set foot in Jotunheim since.
Except for us earlier. We're both two gods and sort of a child and demigod and yada 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 yada. Yada 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 yada. Okay, but there's plenty to do in form of gameplay, as I just showed you guys right there, which was not planned, but, you know, whatever. You also get story time whenever you go into the boat. There's all these different combos and other abilities that you can be doing, such as this. The thing that I did right there is not only that, but it also seems to be like some sort of like specialty. Like this is Shattered Gauntlet of Ages. Everyone was calling this like an item from like it's from the movie Avengers and all that. There's all this different gear, and there's actually quality per every gear. As you can see, it's the same thing as like Destiny and actually Fortnite, where it goes like white, green, blue, purple, gold. You get gear both for you and the child, but the child's gear is pretty meh. Then there are the weapons. You have like this. You got your axes. You got the kid's bow. There are abilities that you can put on each, and these special things that you can also put, as you can see right there and right here. There's skills. Oh my lord, as you can see, there are a lot of skills. I haven't even unlocked these last few skills, and I've already beaten the game. There's so much to the map. Like, here's where you start off. You travel through all this land. You get over here. You go into this place, and then you just start traveling from, as you can see, realm to realm to realm to realm to realm. Now, like, two of these realms aren't even, like, really officially kind of in here. They're just kind of meh. You get all these goals that you can complete, as I said, like, even after the game's already completed. And then there are, like, these labors, or just kill something so many times, do something so many times, blah, blah, blah. As you can see, there's just so many. There are treasure maps where you just need to kind of find a random place. And, just like break open the ground. Like here's an image of it, and then you get all these rewards. The artifacts you can collect, which just yet again it just gives you more of like an XP reward, so it isn't all that much. It's still just like something to do. There's always more and more and more to do. And back to like what I was saying earlier, like the gameplay, you can throw the axe. This is like the magical axe that comes back. Then you can have a shield. They bring this. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can change the kid's bow and have him shoot lightning or that. It's really only 2 different types. So meh. And then you have the blades of chaos. They have more of like a range form too, but. And then you can do this. Yet again, these are like through upgrades and so on and so forth. And it is just so cool just how much stuff is in this game. As I was saying before, the lore and the like the stories and everything is just so good. The fact like they're unraveling these like mysteries that they give you, and then like as I said earlier, when you get in the boat, it explains even more with stories. Like certain things just start to like fall together as the game goes on. And then there were actually 2 different endings in the game. There was one where you actually like finish the game, and then there's one where you go all the way back to your house. And when you do that, then you see like Thor. And oh my goodness, I can't wait, because they're definitely going to continue with the God of Wars. And when they continue with it, they're going to have even more, such as like you're going to start seeing Atreus start to grow up and then become his own god, and he has like some sort of power over language, and I think even over electricity a little bit too, because when he was getting angry, like storms started to happen around him. And just oh my goodness, so much is happening. And I think that was my item. Well, that's interesting. It's one of my favorite things in the world to do in this game too, is this. I love just chucking it into the water and then being like, return. But I also do think it's a little bit stupid how it like travels through whatever the heck is in its way. And just overall, this game is honestly amazing. The combat, 9 out of 10. It is great. You can throw in the kid. The only problem I have with it is that there is a bit, actually too much. As I said, like, you can do this. You can do this. You can, once you swap over here, you can do this. You can do this, because as I said, everything has their own abilities. You then even have your circle thing and do that. Like, there is just so much. And then, you have the kid start shooting at things, and you can swap what he's going to start shooting. And just, oh my lord. And then there are so many, like, different combos and stuff that you get from unlocking in here. That, like, just, oh my god, it's so much. And then there's the Spartan Rage bar, which you can see beneath my HP bar. And just, oh my lord, everything fills up at, like, such different speeds. And it is, like, fun, and I like the fact that I can just throw out all these abilities. But there is just so much to, like, think about. Look at all the abilities that I have. Then there's even, I forgot about this one, you have where he has his own specialty abilities, and then just everything that you're capable of doing and just spamming is just so much. There's so much. And I like the amount of options, but look at all this. You have your shield bashes, your shield things, your rage stuff, you have your axe things, your axe throws, your regular axe hits. Then you have your blades, you have your blade throws, and then you have your regular just blade swipe attacks. Then you have all of his attacks, and as I said, he has that like enchanted ability, and just, oh my goodness. And then you have your armor, and not only do you have your armor, but then you also have the sockets in your armor, and all armor can be upgraded to like have more sockets. And it's just like so much for you to be like thinking about and wanting to upgrade. And I like that too, because I like the fact that I can just, for how much I can do even after the game is already completed, such as I said earlier, I need to kill all the Valkyries. There's like so many more ways to still get stronger. And I like it, but at the same time, it's just like there is so much to be thinking about. And that's the only thing that I would really like. That would be the main thing that I'm like, we might want to make this, you know, like a little bit less, but at the same time, I think it is still like a good amount, and that it's not like too ridiculous to where you're not like over stimulating the Joshar player, being like, hey, let's just give you a quick headache by giving you a million options to learn real quick. And some things that I did like mess up with, like this, where you have to like, this is how to throw, but then this is how to block. That's how you aim and everything, and it's just like, and it gets kind of annoying. And then like R2 is a hard throw, R1 is a weak throw, like that. And it's the same things with your blades, where that's like a yank and that's like an actual swipe. And that's what that was a bit like confusing for me, because I kept hitting like this button trying to throw my blade, or I'd kept hitting this button trying to block. And then sometimes I'd forget to like call my axe, like I'd go like this and then start hitting, but I'd just start punching. And then even when you're like this, you have your heavy attacks, and I didn't really like see any worth of like doing that over like a light attack. And there's just like, even with these, you have like your little attacks, and then you have your light attacks. And it's just like, you really need to get in some combos before you like fully master and learn all these things, which is why I was just like, oh my lord. Yet again, like, you gotta learn your buttons in this game, because your buttons can make a big difference, which I think there is a certain degree of skill to it, which yet again, I do like. But at the same time, like, it can be a bit difficult to like adjust to it, especially if you're playing other games like I was playing like Call of Duty and Fortnite in the meantime between each of like the Let's Plays and everything. And I'd come back to the game and it'd be like, what are the buttons? Like, you can, honestly, the buttons are pretty easy to like memorize, and they're actually pretty fluent. But like, it's just in the case of, what are these buttons anymore? Such as like, I'd hit the wrong combo. As I said, I'd try to block instead of throwing the axe. Sometimes I'd hit like 2 buttons at the same time, and it would just do like one of it was bad. But yet again, as I said, like the buttons themselves are pretty fluent. You can get off everything really easily. It's really fun. It is a really fun combat system. And that, like, considering how it is primarily a hack and slash game, the combat system is, yet again, I was saying, like, really fun. That really brings out a lot in the game. The art is incredible as well. I kind of wish that there was like a jump instead of just, because there's a dodge. And then like whenever you want to climb something like this, you just kind of run into it and you have to hit circle to climb. I like it, but I don't at the same time. I kind of wish that, you know... Are you not alive? Oh, that's interesting. But, and I like how useful he is, but at the same time, like... I don't know. I kind of wish he could do a bit more, and he does kind of just do more on his own. Like, when you're actually in a fight, he will jump onto people and so on and so forth. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I just get, like, like, weird, like, feeling from the kid, as if, like, he's more useless than what he really is. But I think that just because of how much I used him when I played the game wasn't probably as much as others did. I didn't like spam his square for the majority of the game. And so on and so forth. But yeah, I like how like the variation of enemies as well. I think that some of them are a bit stupid. Like the enemies that are blocking 90% of the time, or the really big enemies that you need to smack down for a while. But those one I can kind of understand. Those are more of like a skill-based enemy where you need to like get up close, smack him quite a bit before you do anything else, and then you can start just hammering on him once his armor breaks. There's been a few times where I'm like trying to parry or block or do something like that where it didn't actually like go through and stuff like that. But you know, that just kind of happens with games with like animations and like how quickly you hit the button and all. And so on and so forth. So that I can kind of understand, but at the same time, like, no. I want a perfect game. And this game is definitely in the running for one of the best games stinking ever. I loved it. A lot of people like even said that they don't try to like go into game hype, but then this game really deserves quite a bit of hype because it is just really fun, really good story, really good action, a lot of good abilities and everything, even though it can get a bit excessive. But overall, I'd honestly say that it is a really good game. And when it comes to things that I would change, as I would said, I'd probably keep the like having so many abilities and everything the same, but I'd maybe dumb it down a little bit. But honestly, I think that it is good the way it is now. It just seems like it's over excessive, but at the same time, it is like handleable. You can like just deal with it. It is fun. I'd probably honestly put a bit more in the main story of the game. I'm not saying the story wasn't good enough or anything like that, but I mean like it kind of bugs me the fact that I beat the game and my armor is 90% purple. Okay, well technically it's 75% purple. Same with the kids. How my weapon, how like even the axe itself, this has like a quality and it isn't gold yet. Like it's purple. And same with my blades are also purple weapons. His axe can't even like really be upgraded. And just so on is like the skills, how I don't even have these ones done until I upgrade my axe that last amount. Yeah, and like two of these worlds, I can show you which this one. No. This one and this one. You didn't even get either of these two worlds until whatever the heck, I can't think of it. Why can I not think of it? You don't even get either of these two worlds until after you beat the game. Sort of. Like, you can go here before you beat the game, but it's like there's no real main reason to, except for if you're actively trying to get your weapons yet again to gold. But like, I wish it was more along like the actual story of the game, forcing you to get these weapons, being like, no, you need these weapons. Just seeing the evolution of my armor. The stats I think are very cool. Overall, I do think that the stat system and how each armor and all the sockets and everything upgrades your stats, I think yet again that like adds to the. Sorry about the sneeze, and now my nose is a little runny because of it. The fact that it does add into like the possibility of it being overcomplicated type deal, where as I was saying, it might to like some people might be a bit too much to like see everything, think about your stats, think about your abilities, think about all of it, type deal. But others I know would like excel at it and everything, but that's why I'm saying like it is understandable and handleable. I don't even know if that's a word, but at the same time, it just like it gives off the feeling of it just being a bit much. And I don't really know how you'd get away the feeling while still keeping the way it is. So I think it's definitely possible, but it would definitely it would take a bit. I just like doing that. Has a long as can be cooldown though, or maybe that's because my cooldown stat's the lowest. But overall, as I was saying, like the main thing that I would really change about the game is that I'd probably put some story in those two other realms to kind of like force you to go in there. Both of them have very, very little in either of the realms. Both of them are like only arenas, and that's really it. I wish that there was like an arena, but I wish that there was like one in the main world. I wish that there was like reason to go back to some of these other places. And something that really annoys me is they never really answered the question, or at least for me they didn't, for here. This place is the Elf's World. Once you like complete this area, they say one of like the elves say that we were making a mistake and that we were fighting for the wrong side. But then, like, we didn't really care, and we just kind of went on with our business. But I'm like, I'm curious. I'm like, why? Why were we fighting for the wrong side? Can you potentially answer this question? And I wish that there was, like, a bit, like, reason to come back to this world, because I really, besides to kill the Valkyrie, which is right here, I don't see a reason to come back. Same with, like, Helheim is really just, like, I see the Valkyrie, but I don't see any other reason to be coming back here whatsoever. For this, I can understand why there's not a reason to come back here, because for here, you just kind of spread the mother's ashes, and then you don't really do anything else, and I can understand that one. Here, this is, like, an arena. Here is yet again, there's just another arena. And besides, like, the Valkyries, like, there is no reason to come back. And then, like, you just have the main world, which, as you can see, is just full of stuff. And I'm like, I understand why, like, this would be more full of stuff than everywhere else. But at the same time, I'd be, can you spread the love a little bit? Can you give me some other stuff in, like, other areas for, like, reasons to come back? And like make me go to these places in the first place instead of just being like, no, it's your option to go here. I kind of wish that was thrown in, and that is something that I personally would have done upon doing like making the games. Been like forcing people to come to this world and be like, there's an ancient artifact somewhere in here, you need to get it to make something for the Bifrost type deal because the god broke it. Something like that. And, like, we were, like, it started spinning because they broke it, and then we were flung out, but we were flung out in this world, and then it completely just shattered or something like that. And then this world, they just, like, this is actually where you get the last piece for your blades, but then, like, this world, like, throw us in this world for whatever reason, tell us the blades are here, and then maybe that's all you really have to do, and then just have us have the option to leave. But if I would have, like, known that the blades were here, honestly, I probably would have just continuously tried in the arena and ignored the story for a little bit until I got the next level of the blades. And then there is also the next level of the axe in this world, but at the same time, it's just like I'd rather not. And that, yet again, like that, I didn't realize until after I beat the game. So, overall, I think it is a great game. If you haven't bought it already for whatever reason, I know that the hype has died down for it, but I'd go get it. There's still so much in this game, so much fun to be had. The story, as I keep saying over and over again, is great. The combat system's great. The abilities are great. A bit complicated, but great. The map is so expansive. There's so many things to do. There's the Valkyries. There's the extra battles. There's these random rifts that can open that have enemies that also give you a rare material. You get all these skills. If you've played the old God of War games, you should especially buy this one because you'll, like, see the lore that, like, actually goes with the old God of Wars, and you're like, oh my god, it's amazing type deal. And just... oh, man, it is just an overall really good game. I just kind of wish that it was a bit longer in the story department, even though it was really long. It did have 50-plus episodes on the channel, as you can see. And it's just, oh, man. Oh, man. But that will be the end of this, my thoughts. Thank you all very much for watching. I'm going to bid you all adieu. Goodbye.